Hi everybody and welcome back to Dragon Eye Creations. If you're new here, my name is Laurel and I love to create. And of course, one of my favorite things to create is gnomes. And I am so grateful that I get to do that thanks to you wonderful supportive people. And as a great big large thank you, I will make a large gnome for you today. So we're going to do a large standing gnome. And he is so right here. This is my large standing sunflower musician. He is so cute. I just love how he turned out, and he is so stable, other than in my hand because I am so wobbly. He is so stable. So I'm going to show you guys right now how you can make your very own large standing gnome. Let's get started. We're going to start with one empty bleach jug and just remove the label. Then trace out the bottom onto a piece of scrap cardboard and cut out the circle. Making sure it'll fit on the bottom. Then we're going to take an aluminum foil tube. This is from one of those large aluminum foil rolls. And I'm just going to now mark 5.5 inches all the way around and then cut it. And then do the same thing again, 5.5 inches all the way around, cut it. So we've got two of them at 5.5 inches long. Next, we're going to make sure they are centered on our circle. So it's the same on each side. Trace where we want those to be. Cut those circles out. You can use scissors or a knife, whatever is easier for you. I tried both. Not sure which one I like better. Next, make sure your tubes fit in there. And then push it all the way down so it's flat, and we're going to add some glue all the way around those tubes. Lots of glue, make sure they're nice and stuck in there. Then once it's cooled, flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. We're going to take those two little circles that we cut out of our cardboard and we're going to now glue them to the bottom of our tubes. We're now going to take two sandwich bags, and in each one I'm going to put a handful of pebbles and then a little mini solo cup full of sand. And we're going to then take all the air out and roll those baggies tight and squish it into those tubes. We're going to do that with both of them. So pebbles, sand, roll it up, getting all the air out, and squish it into the tubes. Next, we're going to take this cream-colored plush blanket just from Walmart. This one is nothing fancy, and we're going to cut a strip so that it is big enough to cover our bleach bottle here. I do leave about the bottom 3 inches. I'm not going to worry about covering that part up just yet. So I'm just going to run a strip of glue first of all along the back handle where we attach it, and then along the bottom just keep rolling your bleach bottle up. And then when you get to the end, another strip of glue to finish it off, and then trim it off. Some glue all along the top and tuck it all in. We don't have to be too picky with this part because we are not going to see this anyways. It's going to be under his coat. So now for the coat and hat, we're going to use this blue minky. I was fortunate enough to find this at a garage sale. Now, if you cannot find that, usually, you're going to just go to any fabric store and ask them for minky fabric, or a Shannon Cuddle, they might even call it. Next, I'm also going to use this mustard colored minky, and we are going to add that as trim along the bottom. For the hat piece here, it is 19 by 26 inches. And then we're just going to add good side to good side that mustard colored trim. And then we're going to flip it over and wrap that trim around so we attach it to the back now of the hat. Fold that now in half. This is a bigger piece than we're used to working with, so try to get it all even. I'm going to actually use a little bit of chalk here just to draw out my triangle, just because it is so big. I don't want it to be all crooked. Straighten it out if you need to. And once you're happy with your triangle, you're going to just cut that out. Hot glue a strip on the edge, gluing it back together, good side to good side there. I just do piece at a time, especially because this one is such a large hat. So hot glue a piece and then press it together all the way down, all the way till we get to the bottom, and then we'll turn it right side out. A lot easier with these big hats. Next, I'm going to take just some craft wire, and I'm going to make it the same length as my hat, doubled up, so we fold it in half. Just give it a snip. We're going to put some polyfill into our hat, put our wire into our hat as well. And then we're going to take a styrofoam ball and just glue that right to the top of our bleach bottle. Put a little more polyfill in our hat. For our pants, we're cutting a piece that is 6 inches wide by 16.5 inches long. And then we're just going to run a strip of hot glue about halfway down, not the full way down. And then we're just going to fold it in half, find your center. Fold back those 2 flaps where we didn't glue it. And make a slit in that back piece, just up to where the glue ends there. So now we have our legs. So now we're just going to glue those together. So run a strip of hot glue, good side to good side we're working with here. And we're just going to glue those together. And now I should have hemmed them, but I didn't think of it. So I'm just going to make a slit on each side. And we're going to hem them now. So we're going to just fold on each side, just to run a strip of hot glue right at the very bottom and fold it back. And then flip it over and do the same thing. Fold them right side out. Pop them onto our legs we've made here. And we're going to glue them all around the waistband, we're going to say. So just make a strip of hot glue all the way around the edge of our circle and pull up your pants and attach them all the way around so it's nice and secure. Next, we are going to make the waist part of our pants. So for this, we are using a 21-inch piece that is 21 inch long and 5 inches wide. And we're just going to hot glue the one side down and then the top all the way around. And then we're just going to attach it all the way around our guys. So run a strip of hot glue along the bottom of our body fabric there, we'll call it. And we're just going to wrap that all the way around. Keep hot gluing, and when you get to the end, we're just going to hot glue right at the bottom where we hemmed that little piece. Just stick it down. Tack it down all the way around the bottom there. Just tacking it down all the way around with our hot glue. Next, we're going to add some hot glue all the way around our base of our legs here, into the center as well. And I'm going to add a little E6000 as well, just to extra secure it. And just press that down firmly on our base. Next, for our coat, we are going to cut a piece. This is 10 inches wide by 23 inches long. And we're going to take a piece of trim that is 23 inches long by about 3 inches wide. And we're going to glue it on the bottom, good side to good side, flip it over, tack it down, then fold it over and glue it to the back side. And we're going to do the same thing on the side pieces. These side pieces are 10 by 3. And we have 2 of those, and we're going to do the exact same thing, good side to good side. We are going to hem down the bottom there, and then fold it over, tack it down to the back. So good side to good side, flip it over, tack it down, hem up the bottom, flip it over, and tack it down. Next, we're going to attach it by just adding some glue right to the front center so we know we have it in the center. We're just going to add our trim pieces there. And then we're just going to kind of gather it all the way around, adding glue all the way around the top there. A little bit more if you need it here and there, making sure it's secure all the way around. Next, we are taking these hair foam rollers. And I am taking some extra craft wire, so I'm going to cut a big piece of that. It is about an extra 14 inches of wire that I cut. I'm going to now remove the wire from our arms, put it to the side, and now we're going to cut 2 strips of fabric that are big enough to wrap around our arms. This is about 8.5 by 3.5 inches wide is what we're working with for this. So we'll be cutting 2 of those. We're now going to add some trim to our sleeve, so we're just going to add that same mustard colored fabric right to the end, just good side to good side again, then flip it over, tack it down, trim it off. Nice and easy. Good side to good side, flip it over, tack it down, and trim it off. We're now going to add our hair foam roller, so just a strip of hot glue there, and then roll it up. We don't want it right at the very end, about half an inch down. Roll it up with some hot glue. I didn't remember to hem down the edge, so I did that quick here while it was still warm. And then I finished it off on the end doing the same thing, just tack it down. It's easier to hem the edge there before you roll it up. So we're going to do that on this one. So just strip of hot glue along the edge, fold it down, then we're going to add our hair roller to the other side. Strip of hot glue, roll it up, finish it off with a strip of hot glue, and then you have a nice clean edge. Next, we're going to take the wires from our hair foam rollers here, and we're just going to cut the little loops off, stick those back into our arms, make sure about a half an inch is sticking out, add some hot glue. Same thing on the other one, half an inch sticking out, hot glue right in the hole. We're going to take our other wire that we cut now, and we're going to stick it in the other end, so it's about halfway down. Same on the other one, so it's about halfway down. So we still have this big chunk of wire in the middle to work with. Add some glue to stick those into. We're going to then add it right to the back of our styrofoam ball here. So we're just going to add a strip of hot glue, press it in there. We're going to just attach that with a scrap piece of fabric. Just trim it off. A little bit more hot glue into the armholes. Next, we are going to add some polymer clay hands. These I've made previously. I will leave a link in the description on how to make these. We are then going to put some E6000 on the wires and some hot glue around the edge as well, just to help attach it. Push those right in there. Next, for our beard, we are using just some faux fur that I got at Walmart here. This is about a 9.5 by 8 inch piece that I cut. And we're just going to find the center and then trim off our corners, our bottom corners, to get us a big triangle. Add some hot glue and attach right to the front of our guy here. Making space for a nose now. We're going to grab a polymer clay nose that I also made previously, attach with some E6000 and some hot glue. Press it right onto the front of him. Next, we're going to take our hat and we're going to take our wires and we're going to poke them into that styrofoam ball at the top of him. Next, we're going to grab that guitar from Dollar Tree and we're going to add some E6000 and some hot glue again to attach it to both of his hands. If you use the fur trim, it helps to attach it as well. It's a little easier to stick to that than it is to the polymer clay. Next, for his boots, I'm using these empty ribbon spools, and I'm using 3 of them. I'm going to take one and cut it in half. And then I'm going to take one of those and cut it in half again. And now we're going to take our pieces here and glue them to a piece of cardboard. Just gluing the bottom all the way around. For our skinny pieces, we're going to put glue all the way around the back side and the bottom, so it's attached to the spool and the cardboard. Draw a little rounded piece at the front to help cut around, and then just cut all the way around our booties here. Just getting it as close as we can. Next, we are going to wrap those up in a piece of fabric. The boot fabric is about 13 inches long by about 5.5 inches wide. This is a plush navy Minky I have. It's not quite the same as the other. I wanted it a little different. You don't even really see it, though, you can't tell, but we're just going to hot glue those up and wrap it all the way around our booty. Then add a little glue right to the front, tack it down. Some glue on the inside, tack it all on the inside as well. And pinch it together. Wrapping some jute rope around the front, tied a little knot. And then I just frayed the edges of that, trimmed it down a bit. Next, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to hem down the end, run a hot strip of strip of hot glue along the bottom, and roll up our boot in that, tacking it down all the way around. Add a strip of hot glue at the back there, strip of hot glue at the top and on the inside, tuck it all in, finish it off with our jute rope. Next, we're going to push our pant legs up, put some hot glue, lots of hot glue, all along the inside of our boots at the bottom and along the sides. Push our legs in there nice and firm, make sure it pressed all the way to the bottom. Next, I'm going to take some ribbon. This is some sunflower ribbon, and I'm just going to attach that to the back of his hat, and then I'm just going to wrap it all the way around. Sorry, it's kind of tall, so it's hard to get a good angle to show you guys. Now I'm just going to randomly start putting these sunflowers all over, just cutting off the back and then hot gluing them, one right at the top of his hat. And then I want to put a few more right at the base here. Again, just randomly all over him. I put one at the back of his hat as well, and then I put two more on, one on each boot there. So there he is all done. Our little musician is all ready to play his heart out for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and thanks so much for watching. I really am appreciative of all of you guys, and thanks for all the comments and suggestions. I love hearing from you guys, and I love seeing the pictures of what you guys have created. That just makes my heart so happy. So keep them coming. I love it. So until our next creation, thanks again, and love to all.